Greetings, G.I. Joe fans. Here we are doing another G.I. Joe review. Well, this week since this is November, and it's for them. It's November is G.I. Joe month, which is actually kind of cool because we spent the last couple months looking at Cobra stuff. So for this month only, we are looking at G.I. Joe, and then we're going to go back to looking at some Cobra stuff for the month of December. So, but right now, let's enjoy our time here in G.I. Joe land. So, and this week's video is on the Ram cycle with the driver Corporal Breaker with the variant that came in the comic 2-pack with Destro. So, but before we get to looking at our Ram cycle and Breakers, and looking at that, we are going to do our shout out to the week. First is at Back to the Media at 48 South Loudon Street, which is where you can find all your video game needs, and I do mean all, with the Atari all the way up to current systems, all points in between. So definitely go ahead and check them out. You can get games for each console and everything, that you need for each game, So go gamers, And after you leave Back to the Media, you're looking for toys and collectibles, you can go over to Time Traveler Toys and Collectibles at 115 South Loudon Street, where you can find all of your G.I. Joe, Transformers, He-Man, Thundercats, and all points in between kind of stuff. So, unfortunately, I got the Ram Cycle and Breaker and the comic 2-pack Breaker from I got it both off of eBay, unfortunately, so I can't give Time Travelers a shout out for that. So, but it is what it is. Tune in Sunday, I'll have something from Time Travelers. But go ahead and check them out. So definitely do that. And after you leave Time Travelers, you can go to 4-Color Fantasies at 80 Williams Lane here in Winchester, where you get all of your comic book needs from DC, Marvel, IDW, Image, Mirage, all kind of stuff. So definitely go ahead and check them out. And it's a good place to get all your comic books. You can get back issues, current releases, So definitely go check them out. But if you're hungry for Jamaican food and you're here in the Winchester area, go ahead and check out Tropical Islands on Piccadilly Street, right across the street from the Hanley Library, and see Lloyd and get some good Jamaican food, some good reggae music in the background. You really got a good vibe over there, good conversation. But after you leave there, if you got a tree that you need removed in your yard, or a tree stump removed, or just to get a tree trimmed, get a hold of Mixed Tree Service. He can take care of your tree issue and have your property more presentable. If you're looking for a bank, need some good banking needs met and good banks to go to, check out Bank of Clark or United Bank. Visit any branch. You can definitely get some good service there, and there, get some good fraud protection on your debit card for your bank account and whatnot. So check them out. But if you need like homeowners insurance, renters insurance, and so on and so forth, cars, auto insurance, check out either State Farm or Farmers and get some good insurance there. And if you need gas for that newly insured vehicle, go over to Sheetz, where they got made-to-order food, so you can get your gas tank full as well as your belly full at the same time. Why does Sheetz not? Go for it. And usually here's where I do my public service announcements. Well, since Cobra Island is a proud sponsor of mental health awareness, so if you're looking for a counselor or whatnot in the Winchester area, go ahead and check out Healing Grace Counseling Services at 133 West Pascagoula Street, Suite number 10, and see what Robert Brown has for you. And then if you're outside the Winchester area or you want somebody different, go ahead and get a hold of National Counseling Group. But if you need more than just therapy, you can check out, and you're in the Front Royal Winchester area, check out Northwestern Community Services and really check them out and do what get a hold of their program. Or you could go to your closest psychiatrist's office of wherever you're at. But If you need somebody to text 741-741. It's a nationwide number, so definitely, if you're into the texting thing, you need somebody to talk to, go ahead and text that number. But if you need to hear a human's voice over the phone, get a whole call, dial 988 and talk to a representative, on that line. But if it's a dire emergency, take yourself to your local emergency room. Remember, you are important, you're very special, and you are welcome in my community anytime you need to. Okay, and that's our shout-outs of the week. So we're going to start with looking at Corporal Breaker. And we're going to start with the file card, which both of them, for both figures, stay exactly the same. So I'm only going to read one. Where you can see a good picture of Breaker right there. And it says Communications Officer, codename Corporal Breaker. File name Kibby Alvin R. Primary military specialty is infantry. Secondary military specialty is communication technology. Birthplace is Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Grade is E4. Corporal Breaker is the G.I. Joe team's communications expert, making him the crucial link between the battlefield and headquarters, or in other words, the pit. He's familiar with battlefield technology that helps the team monitor Cobra activity. Corporal Breaker is familiar with all NATO and Warsaw Pact communications gear, as well as most world export devices. Specialized education, Signal School, Covert Electronics, Project Gamma, qualified expert in the M16, M19, 11A1, MAC-10, Ingram, classified, speaks 7 languages. And the quote at the bottom says, he's efficient and self-assured and has an uncanny ability to turn adverse situation to his favor. And like I said, the other file card says the same thing, so I don't need to really read both of them. It says take a look at Corporal Breaker, starting with his accessories, the one that actually came with the Ram cycle, which he does come with 2 pistols. As you can see there, nicely sculpted pistols. And he also comes, and I try to keep this as whole as I can, but it does separate into 3 pieces with his helmet, with his walkie-talkie gear, which comes with the little standard wire that attaches to his little backpack, communications backpack. And he also has his figure stand with the upraised G.I. Joe logo, codename Breaker, and the accessories for the 2-pack that came with Destro comes with the same figure stand, 1 pistol, and the helmet. But he doesn't have the same gear, but it's everything's. I mean, there's minor color differences on the uniforms, so I'll point them out when I get done looking at it. But otherwise, the articulation is the same on both, so I'll only do the articulation for one. But of course, he's got his green uniform with a holster for 1 pistol there, and a pistol holster for the other pistol right there on his web gear. And he's got his Caucasian skin tone. He's a brunette. Of course, his head can rotate all the way around. And as you can see, he's got some wiggly waggly going on. His arm can lift to about here. His arm can rotate the full 360 all the way around. He can bend at the elbow. Yes, so far. And he can rotate at the elbow. And his wrist swivels. As you can see, and it does all 360 rotation. He does have the up crunch feature, as you can see at the chest cut. And the web gear doesn't hinder it that much. He can spread the legs and do almost a full split. Leg can come up about so high. Can't really do any back kicks, but his leg can lift up this high. Got the double knee joint as standard for all 2007 G.I. Joes on up, which he does bend at the knee. And his ankle can pivot.
I will. I got a rhino.
He can pivot at the ankle. And he can rotate at the ankle. But and of course, you got this Corporal Breaker. Like I said, some of the painting apps are different. Because this one, he does have the green pouches on his web gear, and the grenade is actually painted like I would say, like an olive lime green, kind of like. But pretty much everything's the same. I mean, there's paint on the web gear at the bottom also. But everything else is just the same, articulation, everything. So let me show you what this breaker looks like geared up. So here's this breaker all geared up and ready for battle. The reason why I haven't set this guy up because I'm going to show you what he looks like on the Ram cycle. But speaking of the Ram cycle, let's go ahead and do as with a lot of the 25th anniversary vehicles. The vehicles come with a file card. There's a picture of breaker on the Ram cycle, where it says Ram cycle, G.I. Joe logo. Designation, motorcycle, weapons, Gatling gun. These lightning fast rapid fire motorcycles have Gatling guns mounted on their sidecars for ground attacks that are swift and serious. A turbocharged engine gives them their incredible speed, and they have ultra quick response time. So it is a highly experienced and really daring driver to operate them at top speed and in the middle of a chaotic battle. Sergeant Rock and Roll used the Ram cycle to attack Cobra Island to rescue the kidnapped scientist Dr. Burkhart, and they're often deployed to defend G.I. Joe base perimeters. Now, unfortunately, it does say Rock and Roll on the file card, and they are correct in issue number 1, where G.I. Joe invaded Cobra Island, and they did have Rock and Roll on the Ram cycle, but the Ram cycle actually came with breaker. So let me go ahead and let's look at the Ram cycle. As you can see, it is a 2-piece, where the Gatling gun does come off, but it can roll. The Gatling gun does have a tire right there. So it also got 2 saddlebags, which could go onto the side. As you can see, one's right there. The other one could go right here. Could hook right into the little port right there. And you could just plug it in. And there you go. So let's go ahead and put breaker on here. I'm not really going to put his hands on the handlebars, but you can do it right here. And as you can see, breaker's riding into battle. Which I don't like the whole concept of this guy on the battlefield, with this being, breaker's too exposed. So I really don't see the reasoning behind having a motorcycle on the battlefield, because it does leave the driver very exposed to enemy fire. But I mean, it is what it is. This G.I. Joe, so they can get away with it. But let's go ahead and take a look at this breaker all geared up, and I'll give you my final thoughts. So here we are with both breakers all geared up with the Ram cycle. Final thoughts. I mean, this is an excellent motorcycle, but like I said, the driver is so exposed on the battlefield. But I mean, you can only do so much in protecting the driver on a motorcycle. But so as far as the Ram cycle goes, I would kind of claim it as a top tier vehicle, because it's always good to have it to go out first, so you can clear a path for the bigger vehicles, so you could draw enemy fire. So I think it's good. So it's a top tier figure, or a top tier vehicle. And as for Corporal Breaker, if y'all remember the vintage versions, which you could actually watch on ACC 788 and Forum BX 257, also Timmer with Half the Battle, he doesn't come with any accessories outside the helmet and the communications backpack. But he has no guns. But 25th anniversary figure does come with guns or hand pistols, so I think it's pretty good. So it's good to have him armored outside if he's not on the Ram cycle. So, I mean, the comic 2-pack does lack a lot in accessory-wise, but he did come as a 2-pack with Destro, so that kind of evens it out. But I still would have gave him more than just one pistol in the helmet. I would at least give him his communications pack, because how's he going to contact the pit without it? But both of them are top tier figures. They're part of the original line of G.I. Joe when it was relaunched in 1982. So, you do have a lot of that history right there. So within the toy line, within the franchise, so you got that. So I mean, so I would claim both of these guys as top tier figures, and I'm kind of glad I do have them in the collection. But so I would suggest getting both the Ram Cycle with the with Corporal Breaker, which actually comes as a 2-pack with the Flight Pod and the Televiper, and this one comes in a 2-pack with a comic book and Destro. So go ahead and definitely pick up both sets. You can't go wrong with having 2 breakers. So but this for Cobra Island and G.I. Joe. So until next time, now you know, and knowing is half the battle. See you in the next one.